You suffer from the big block, okay? And you're pretty fascinating with how you do it, okay? So most players are getting super dumped under. Your swing is not super dumped under. But you're doing that because your club face gets really closed in the backswing. So go back, hang out by that camera back there. Let me get your club. So you go back, you're fairly flat in your backswing, right? You get that face pretty under control. You start down on a good path, but you close that face a little bit more. Now, if I were to keep turning on this, that club face is going to cause that golf ball to hit me in the ankle, right? So you get in here and you start tilting out of it, raising the handle, which creates a condition where you open that up. The face is square, but it starts throwing the path out to the right. Does that make sense? So the way you take care of that is we get this club face more in here square, and then we start teaching you the feeling of rotating through the ball, okay? Instead of sitting here and backing out of it. So come on in here real quick. Let me see how you grip this club real quick. Okay. So you have a pretty strong grip. Now, go up for me real quick, okay? Oh, grip it, grip it. Go up to the top of your backswing for me, okay? Now, that club face condition is just fine there, but if you add any of this flexion to it, see how that wrist is going this direction? That's lead wrist flexion right there. That gets that face pretty shut down. So right here, see how that's way curved down to the earth? That's too shut for functionality. We'd want it somewhere up here, okay? We can go about this two ways, and I kind of want to mess with this for a second to give you a chance just to see how you react. I like players that add lead wrist flexion. It has a bunch of effects on the shaft that I really enjoy. The shaft can start falling more behind players, which is a good thing. You don't need more flexion, but if that's part of what causes the shaft to go behind you, that's a good thing. So I'm going to try and keep that flexion in your swing. I'm not going to try and change it. But what I want to do is get you to slightly weaken the grip, okay? So go ahead and set up here. Now, take your normal grip. If you look at that, that V is hard a little bit past that shoulder, okay? Okay. So take this hand off. Now, let's get that a little bit more in the palm there. There you go. Beautiful. You feel that? Now, that's still a strong grip, okay? If you look at this V that's formed here between the thumb and the trigger finger, if it's over at the trail shoulder, it's strong. If it's at the buttons, it's neutral. Lead shoulder, it would be weak, okay? So that is still just inside the trail shoulder. Put the other hand on and try and match it like you did before. I'll get it over. There you go. Good. That is a very sound grip, okay? Now, take that up to the top. I want to see what that club face looks like at the top. Good. That's still in a position where it's not super shut. That's perfect. Now, if you start making your downswing from there, that should get into a really good position. I really like that feel for you. So get that grip on there now, and then try and make some swings. You're still probably going to tilt. I'm going to have to work the tilt when I come back, but just get comfortable with that until I come back to you, okay? Okay. When you start coming down, I want to work on your transition. Grab your grip. I'm going to show you what I want you to do. Go up to the top of your backswing and stop, okay? Now, you shallow the shaft well, but what I want you to feel is when you transition down, you're going to leave that lead shoulder moving down to the ground longer in transition, right? Don't fear coming over the top or any of those things. Let that lead shoulder come down, boom, and then work more around the corner. We're trying to create rotation, okay? Rotation is one amazing way to get a shaft that is way too far behind us and a club head that's way too far behind us more out in front. Does that make sense? So using your body is going to be critical here, and we're going to start that rotation. You already do well out of your lower body. It lowers in transition, which is a good thing. It's crunching like that, but your shoulders just stay up here, and you create this tilt early on. So get that crunch, and then feel everything working around the corner. Does that make sense?
When you say working around the corner, you mean this?
Yes, working that way. Yep, exactly. Work it back. Perfect. Okay. But this needs to crunch more down in transition. Show it to me. Go up there. Up to the top. Slowly come down. There you go. So see how that club head's getting more out in front of you? And then turn your body around the corner. Yeah. See how easy that is? Do you feel that club going more left?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna super slice it.
Good. You can feel that, but for someone who's dumped under, that's what you need more of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's finding the range, right? If you were to start sitting here going,
yeah,
then you're in trouble.
That's how I feel.
Right.
Doing that, I feel like I'm gonna.
You probably won't. You got a lot of room that you have to work with before you get into that issue.
All right.
You know, there are players who take that and go too far with it. But if you do start seeing the big, huge pull and the super slice, you know, throttle it back a little bit. You did too much of it.
Too much of it.
Yep. Go ahead and grab a golf ball for me. Let me see you try and make that move and hit one. That's a block of like 2 yards. When I look at your swing, right, I see that you're getting out of the ground, okay? You're pushing out of the lead side, but you push up, okay? I want you to do a little bit of a feel trick because we're talking about getting more rotation to get that club out in front of you. You're getting there. They're just baby blocks now. We could get the club face a little bit more shut and just hit draws from that position, but I feel our miss is still going to be too far right. I want you to feel a lot more rotation. So what I want you to feel, when you start down, I want you to feel like you're going to get the pressure into the outside ball when you're doing this little drift open, outside ball of the lead foot, and then push it back into the outside heel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like ball and then heel.
Yes. That will, in turn, push this hip back, which will help drag the chest through, which will, in theory, get that club more out in front of you. Does that make sense? Okay, so set up without a ball. Feel that. Go up to the top for me. Pressure into the outside ball. There you go. Now keep feeling like you're going to turn around the corner and then push all your pressure back to the heel as you rotate through. Good. Do it again. See how that foot really went out?
Yeah.
I like that. Do it again. Good. Grab a golf ball.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. I come out with new content every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. Thanks a lot, you guys.